Okay, so from last lesson, you noticed that we have been doing materials, and actually for today is basically one of the revision sessions before we start a new topic. Okay, so maybe let's just recap a little bit about materials. So what do you know about materials, Rudra?
Materials can be once alive and also not alive.
So basically, we are talking about classification, right? How do we classify materials? So one way is
Not
al- once alive versus never.
alive.
Very good. Okay. How else can we classify materials?
Absorbance.
Oh, that's the properties, right? Okay, yes, we can classify them based on their properties. Okay. And by properties, there are a few. We can look at their absorbency, whether or not they can absorb water.
Weight.
Definitely the strength, right? Whether or not it can withstand weight.
Flexibility.
Very good. Flexibility. Okay. We might sometimes also look at their heat conductivity, whether they are good or poor conductors of heat.
What's it called? Waterproof.
Very good. Okay, so under waterproof, basically it's
Other absorbency.
oh wait, hold on a second. Oh, wait. Okay, I know why. Okay, because this one should be this. Okay, so we were talking about materials, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because just now the marker is another one, it will not be saved. Okay, so let's just quickly recap again. Strength, flexibility, right? Whether or not it is able to bend without breaking. We talked about heat conductivity. Yeah, okay, as well as absorbency. Absorbency basically is whether or not it's waterproof or it's absorbent. Okay, waterproof means it does not allow water to be absorbed. Absorbent means it allows water to be absorbed. They are the opposites, right?
Most light to come through.
Okay, so ability to allow light to pass through.
Transparent or non-transparent.
Yeah. Okay, ability to allow light to pass through. You do need to take note that actually, you are not required to know. It's not in your syllabus for you to know transparent, translucent, and opaque. So now what do they do? Is ability to allow light to pass through. Okay, so basically they will classify into three. Okay, most light,
Least light and no light.
most light, some light. Okay, some materials allow some light, and some materials allow
No light.
no light. Yeah. So of course it's good to know opaque means no light. Some light means trans.
Lucid.
Yeah.
Translucent.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. So some light, because it's too close to here, I think I will have to. Yeah, I'll just write here. Translucent. Okay, and then of course, if it allows most light to pass through, it's considered transparent. Okay, so ability to allow light to pass through, there are three. You can say some materials allow all light to pass through, some materials allow some light, and some materials allow no light. What else? Of course, one more is electrical conductivity, right? Whether or not it's a good conductor of electricity, whether is it a poor conductor of electricity. So basically, classification of materials, we can classify them based on their properties. Okay, so one way is to classify them based on properties. Now, another way, of course, is whether or not they are once alive
Are never alive.
or never alive. Okay, and another way is to classify them according to the types. So what do we mean by types? Types means like, for example, you have some that are from
Rubber.
animals, okay, from living things, basically. And
Plant.
plants. Yes, and plants. Okay, so this one basically, when we say types, there are two broad areas. One is natural, right? Because animals and plants are considered natural, so it's a natural source of material or natural type of material. Of course, another one would be man-made.
I thought artificial.
Yeah. But natural can have two. One is by animals and plants. Natural can also be by nature. Which one? Okay, so for example, your ceramic.
No, only by flower, by plants and animals.
Yeah, so natural can be by plants and animals or just by nature, as in like ceramic, which you get, the soil from the floor and everything. Okay, so in general, I would say for this topic, they usually will test you on the properties. Yeah. Why is this? Okay, so in general, they will always test you on the properties. And I think I've seen some of your work. Some of you might have finished the homework on your student account. So if you're finished, I will probably have given you a feedback as well on it. Okay. But otherwise, not to worry. Usually during tutorial, we'll cover those assigned work and just go through with you again. So in any case, if you were to make a mistake, this is where you should clarify and also ask questions. Okay. So feel free to ask questions. Don't be shy. Yeah. Anything else we need to know about materials? We've learned the properties, we've learned the different types. Okay, I think another thing that you need to know about materials is the application. So usually you will be given a question, like for example, a bicycle, and how to apply the different properties of materials to choose the appropriate, the best choice of material. Okay, so this one is application of materials. Yeah. Okay, so once we're done with this one is basically an overview. Like I said, it's a revision already. You would have probably done quite a handful of questions for this topic. So I think after today's lesson, then we'll start on a new topic already. Yeah, we're already considered, like I said, we have a total of 48 worksheets, meaning 48 tutorials. Okay, we're at number 11, means we're about almost 1/4 there, right? Because now it's March, right? So eventually we will go on to other topics as well. And closer to mid-year exams and end-of-year exams, we'll be doing more revision. Okay? Okay, now let's take a look at the first question. Donnie set up a ramp with a piece of material P and a wooden block as shown. He pulled a load up the ramp using a spring balance. He repeated the experiment using 3 different types of materials, Q, R, and S. Okay, so basically he replaced this material with Q, R, and S. Okay. So I think for any experiment, we need to identify which one is the change variable. In this case, they've already stated quite clearly using 3 different types of materials, right? So this one is basically the change variable. This is what we are changing. Okay. And what are we measuring? Okay, it's not stated in the question on the left, but if you notice, there will always be like a table or graph of results showing you, right? So in this case, if you look closely at the graph, at the table on the right, you notice that this is the one that they're measuring. They're trying to measure the amount of force that is used to pull the load. Okay, so in this case, this one is actually the measured variable. So we are changing the type of material, and then we want to see how much force is needed to pull up the load. Okay, while it's on a different material. So let's go to the main question. Okay, main question. They say which material is more suitable for making playground slides. So obviously for playground slides, you want it to be, what are some of the properties that you want for a playground slide?
Plastic.
Plastic, okay. Right.
Strength.
Okay, you probably, plastic, I think plastic is the type of material. It's not really the property of the material. Okay, so in this case, I would say someone said strength just now, I heard strength. Okay, so of course, why do you want the slide to be strong?
So they won't fall and break.
Yeah.
Okay, so the property that you want to look at would be, of course, strength, right? So you will not, basically strength is the property in which is the ability an object carries weight without breaking. Okay, so strength is a measurement of whether or not this thing can hold weight without breaking. Okay, that's a good point. I would say strength is something we want to look at. But at the same time, if you notice, we are trying to pull the load up. So we want to make a slide. Another thing I think is that we want it to be slippery as well. I think Claire is having a very bad connection.
Smooth?
Yeah, we want it to be smooth, right? The smoothness. And of course, based on the results, I think you will be able to come to a conclusion on which one is the smoothest. Which one do you think is the smoothest?
R.
Yeah, because if you have to make sense of the results say the amount of force used to pull the load seems like the least amount compared to the rest is needed to pull the load. So what does that suggest to you about material R? Material R is very smooth. So since it's smooth, it will make it very suitable to make playground slides. Now, there is sometimes in the results, there is no straightforward telling you of what property we're testing. Okay, so you need to make sense of this. If we're measuring the amount of force to pull it up, then what are we looking at actually? What are we testing in the materials? Okay, because there are 4 materials here, right? So what are we testing? Okay, so answer is C. Very good, Victoria. Let's move on. Okay, here we have a flow chart. Okay, so to read the flow chart, I think you are P3 now. You should have been exposed to at least 1 or 2. Okay, but otherwise, I think I'll just go through with you first. We are supposed to match. This question requires us to match. Okay, which of the following best represents A, B, C, and D? Okay, so let's start with A first. We'll use the same color. It's a material. It is flexible, yes. It is transparent, yes. So that's your A. Okay, so flexible and transparent. Is the styrofoam board flexible and transparent?
No.
No, right? Okay, I mean, you can try, I mean, if there's a styrofoam board, you might want to